In today's video, I'm going to be going over the new roadmap for 2026 for World of Warships. So World of Warships just dropped a new video along with the dev blog going over its new plans for 2026 and for the future years. As you can see, there are specific topics they talked about. I've already watched the video, so I'll be going over a quick overview of what they talked about, my thoughts on it, and how I think the game's going to be doing over the next year with what they were talking about. So they're talked about the Matchmaker, aircraft and air, anti-air mechanics, operation changes, quality of life improvements, other features and activities, technology and visual improvements, new ships, and new events. So let's get started. The first part of the video that they talked about was them leaving Russia, exiting Russia and Belarus, going over how difficult it was for their development team, which I know this and I've talked about this over time, how they had to legit rebuild their dev team. So that's why a lot of the features you were seeing over time weren't really implemented until now. So now that they have more of a solid team, they're able to put out more of the content changes, like new maps, new changes to those that we've been wanting over time. So that's what they were talking at the beginning of the video. Going on from there, they were first started to focus on the matchmaking improvements. So that's what they're going to be focusing on first. Second is going to be the continued quality of life improvements. Third is maintaining strong and steady content productions, new ships, new collabs, new events, keeping things moving forward. The fourth is going to be working on technical improvements, making things more smooth, making the maps more beautiful, stuff like that. So let's get started with their first change, which is going to be the Matchmaker. So what they're going to be focusing on here is queue times. And one of the biggest things is going to be cross-realm matchmaking. We've been wanting this for a very long time, where tab about the server, either to merge servers or something with that. So having it where now that they're testing cross-realm matchmaking, where if the queues are taking a little bit too long, you'll be matchmaked with other servers, is huge. That is massive. It means that you don't have to merge the servers. It just means that you get a more of a cross-realm matchmaking. So if queue times are a little bit slower, you do get yourself put into other servers, which is really nice. And it makes it for lower queue times, which means better game experiences. Also, going off of that is the tier spread and feelings of being up tiered. They're going to be focusing more of where tier 10s are going to have more of their own motto tier battles, where tier 10s are only going to see tier 10s, and then it makes it where the tier 9s and tier 8s are going to be seeing less tier 10s in their matches. This is going to help out a lot of the time, where if you're playing a tier 8 or a tier 9, you see you're getting up tiered like every match. It's going to make it so much better for players that are going from the lower tiers to the higher tiers. Playing in PvP in those realms is going to be so much easier. So huge W's on the matchmaking bouts that they're going to be doing throughout this year. This is massive, and everyone should be super happy about this. Now, something that I would like to be able to in the future is like a single tier matchmaking, where instead of it being up and down by 2, it can be only up by 1 or down by 1. I'd like that. But overall, this change is definitely something that I'm really looking forward to. So huge W for World of Warships for this. Also, aircraft carrier anti-air mechanics. So they were talking about the changes they have done over the year, right? They've reduced the spotting for fighters. They've reduced the spotting for aircraft. They have, they removed the spotting from fighters. They have improved the fighters. Now they also want to have it where later on this year, they want to be testing a new or adding in a new targeted tactical consumables. It makes it where carriers are going to be able to extinguish fires on allies from a distance, and they want to add another consumable to repair allied ships. So a lot of people that have wanted to have aircraft carriers be a more supportive role, or want to play carriers for supportive roles, this is massive. This is something that I've always wanted for carriers in this game, to be really more in that supportive role, either be spotting for defense with fighters, to have the extinguishing fires or heals or laying smoke, stuff like that. Huge W for this. So like this whole entire thing, this whole thing going down, this roadmap from 2026 is 1,000 times better than the roadmap from last year. The roadmap from last year was very like inconcise. They didn't really know what they were doing. In this, it shows clearly what they're wanting to do throughout the year, and it's more like loose on the details, but it gives us a bigger picture of what they're wanting to do, which helps us be able to understand what they're wanting to do, which, makes it easier for us in the end. But overall, I'm really liking what they're trying to do with the carriers, making them more of a supportive role. They're also trying to do it with a new anti-air tool, the aid fire, to replace a dense defensive AA fire consumable. Now they plan to bring it into the game. It's designed to discourage enemy aircraft from repeatedly attacking the same ship and providing a temporary bonus to anti-air if enemy planes focus on you too much. This is going to be fantastic for later this year. So imagine that you're in a Yamato, right? And a carrier keeps attacking you over and over again. The more that he keeps on attacking you, the stronger your anti-air is going to get, getting the temporary bonus for your anti-air. So this is also huge as well if you're being focused by a carrier over and over again. So really nice change with that as well. Now moving on is going to be the Brawls with battle recalibration. So they're going to be adding in with these little changes you guys have been doing with Brawls. They do these really interesting game modifiers. I see them as testing grounds for potential new things, like having tornado and vampirism. So testing like potential new mechanics. So I like seeing those mechanics being tested in a live service thing that we can actually see. So that being in Brawls where people can earn rewards during them is also really nice as well. So I like the Brawls with the battle recalibration. So that's really nice. Operations. So they were talking about operations a lot. They talked about how they added the new In the Name of Tomorrow operations, so the 3 that are already added right now. They also plan on to add more operations in the future and make more changes as well. And they also plan on adding more operations for tier 2 through 5, which is massive for operations. This is huge. This is massive. It makes it where newer players, they aren't just thrown into PvP or they're stuck in doing co-op. They can go in and do operations with community members. They can go in and play with other players that are more experienced. That can give them tips on how to fight certain ships. And not just fighting dumb bots that aren't really going to fight back. It helps them graduate to more PvP areas that allow them to do better at the game. So this is a huge W as well. Them adding in new operations for tier 2 through 5. They also made it where on some existing maps, tier 5 would also be included as well for those, but there would be new operations for tier 2 and through 5. So very big W as well. A lot of good changes. Quality of life improvements. So they plan on changing the clan tab improvements. So if you have any type of clan battles experience or anything like that, they plan on doing some kind of changes to the clan tab improvement, making it a lot better, a lot cleaner. The Hall of Fame as well, so very nice in that as well. Now, for in battle, they talked about how the objective point system to show how well you did in a battle, not just based off of damage and kills. It shows you how many points you actually put toward actually winning the match. As well as they're talking about map rebalancing, how their first match was Okinawa, then now they're doing Mountain Range. They're essentially going through the oldest maps and going through the newer ones. So that means that every single map in the game is going to get a rework at some point. They also talked about how by the end of this year, they're going to be having a new map. And once this new map is in place, they plan on having more maps come out each year. So more than just one, multiple maps per year. They want to have more maps come out each year, which is hugely massive. World of Warships has really been missing on maps. We've been needing maps for so long, but due to that whole Belarus and leaving Belarus and Russia really put a damper. Like it legit, they had to rebuild their whole entire dev team, right? Entire dev team, it got wiped because most of them stayed in Russia, of course, right? So they had to essentially rebuild the dev team, and now they have a dev team around the same size they had before, and they're building that experience. By the end of this year, they're going to be able to pump out way more maps, better quality of life, just overall just way better. And they also talked about how they're slowly adding more battle interface customization, like from the mod station or Aslane's mods, like the increased adaptability timer when you shoot your guns, time to victory counter, and other tweaks that'll be arriving over time. This is huge as well because a lot of these mods, the average, like the normal player, isn't going to understand what that is. Like they're like most people don't go into a game looking for mods right away to end the game, right? So having more options for the player to be able to choose in their UI is huge and it's very important. And I'm glad that they're doing this as well because it means that there's less people that don't know about the information, right? So imagine like the time to victory thing, right? Imagine that wasn't something that was built in the game, right? And you had to go and get a mod. How is someone that's new supposed to know that exists unless they're told it exists? And so they're not going to look up that information unless they're told it exists. So that's why I'm like, it's huge that they actually had this. They're adding all this into the game because over time, it's going to make it better for the average player. It's going to help them be able to get more information in the game to be able to play better as well. Now they also are doing a unique commander update. They're adding in, they did announce a new commander as well for the Spanish tech trees. So there's going to be a unique commander for every nation. They're also going to be doing a rework on the commanders so that they'll be useful in operations, in event battles, so that if you have a unique commander, he can be used in PvE, PvP, it doesn't matter. He can be used in any mode. So this is also huge as well. So far in this roadmap, I've been happy with legit everything. This is one of the smoothest roadmaps that I've read in a long time. They also did talk about in the matchmaking about the blowouts and the steamrolls that we've been seeing, but they said they'll be trying to tweak things to figure out things that are going on with it. So over time, they'll be doing testing with that, so we'll have to see how that goes. So hopefully they'll figure out something, but so far, a lot of the devlog has put me at ease for the future of this game, which is a big W. Now, something else is, this is also very big as well, right? So this is the battle pass. So we have the current battle pass, right? Which is very linear, what you can get, and you can't really change the rewards, right? Now this is they're putting a twist on the battle pass, right? So as previously announced, we introduced the battle pass in a new format. We want to give you appealing medium tier goals that span several updates, ease time pressure on casual players, and give dedicated players more ways to engage with the feature. How they want to do this is that there are certain paths you can go in the battle pass to get certain things. So if say you want to earn a ship, or say you want to earn certain like steel or coal, or you want to earn something more in particular, you can go toward that more and earn more points toward that particular thing. So you can choose what you want more from a battle pass. I think that's really good. It allows the player to choose what they want instead of just being said, okay, well, this is what you get and this is all you can get. It gives it where if you're a more casual player, you may not want to get a certain thing, so you'll focus on one thing. And if you're a more experienced player, you'll want to get something else. So overall, having the battle pass in this way is really good. And I like them changing it up. It makes it where the time spent in the game is, and you get the reward you want from it. So huge W on the battle pass. Big W, by the way. Now, they plan on bringing back the tactical card battles import. If you guys were here during the Dunkirk 1940, where you had to get these cards to be able to get like a puzzle game, right? They plan on bringing that back, but in a more, like a longer form, like a more detailed form, like more of an actual like mini game in the game. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm super excited for how it turns out for the tactical card game, because they are bringing it back. So that's going to be really fun, them doing that. Also, they are also making it where you can add decals to your ships. So you can add decals, you can add lettering, you can add decals, emblems. This is huge. We've been wanting this for years. Years. Finally, we are getting decals on ships. You can put decals on the ships that you want. We don't know how much it's going to cost or not, but you're finally going to be able to put decals on your ship. So your ships feel more like an extension of you on what you want to add. Now, I said this earlier about the unique Spanish commander, but they said it right here as well for that. Now, they are going to be doing changes to the achievement system. So we already have the achievements that are going on right now, like Dreadnought, Kraken, Wither, all of those. They're going to be changing those as well. Now, there's also upcoming technical improvements that let us further explore new visual features, and they'll talk about those when there's time. So if people like the decals and how they go, there'll be new features that they want to add as well. Because there might be such an option as kill counter to add to the exterior of your ship. That's pretty cool. So having it like a marker on how many ships you've killed, that's going to be huge if that's actually a thing. So you see a ship of like 100 markers on it from killing 100 ships. This would be like super cool if they actually did that. But again, all the information I'm talking about is subject to change. This is a dev blog. So again, we have to just see how this all goes. But more customizing his ships is just huge overall. So big W there. Now, they talked about technology and visual improvements. So dynamic lighting, dynamic times of the day, like changing cloud cover. They were talking about like improvements to the game on how it feels, not just a stagnant world where it changes over time in the match, where it can start at daytime and slowly go down to dusk, or it's night and then it goes to dawn during a match, stuff like that. Some really big dynamic changes that make the game more unique. Each game more unique. It makes it way better, more unique of an experience when you're going into each battle. So big W there. So I'm very happy with that. They talked about new ships. They talked about the new Italian submarine line that's currently in testing. It'll be out at some point. They announced a new Pan-American destroyer line, as well as a new Pan-European cruiser line that'll be going out later in this year. They also showcased some new premiums. The Prince of Wales we already talked about, the Akagi, Orzel, and others as well. So this is the Akagi, this is the Prince of Wales, and this is the Bismarck 41. So they are talking about that and events that are tailored toward certain events. So this year they'll be doing one about Pearl Harbor. There'll be ones around like certain other events. So for this year, they'll be doing one for a hunt for Bismarck, a bounty-style event with historical ships and camouflages, the Independence Day 250th anniversary, narrative-driven campaign with content dedicated to the USA, and then there will be the Pearl Harbor 85th anniversary memorial event featuring historical ships and camouflages. So they'll be adding in more historical content over time, which is also a huge W. They also talked about this year how there's going to be the anniversary event, a marathon-style event starting from the summer, paving the road to the new year. You can expect long-running activities that were playing throughout this. So that's going to be super cool. The annual Black Friday event that goes on, which is super nice for discounted premiums. The various dockyards, cool collaborations, of course, the New Year celebration with the snowflakes, and then the Santa containers, trade-in event that's going to be going on later this year, as well as the King of the Seas, which I'll be casting, of course. So we'll see how that goes. But yes, this dev blog is huge. I'm very happy with how this dev blog was. The video was very well presented, and it helps secure the future of me feeling with this game. So I'm very happy with how this is. And like they said in this right here, and they said at the beginning of their video, they're trying to improve the core gameplay experience in World of Warships. And this roadmap ties to that goal. So making the game a better experience. Overall, I'm very happy with the roadmap. I think that it's a huge W for the game, and that we should all. I'm very happy with the dev blog. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. What you guys think of their roadmap. But overall, I'm extremely happy with the roadmap. Super excited for it. I'm ecstatic. It's a huge W for the game. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Deuces.